Gina here. Welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Bodyguards. Go ahead and leave a like button. Click the like button if you like this. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this and about astrology, the stock market. You know, I'm just getting started here, so I know it's going to get better. But it's enough for now. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. On that topic, we're going to try and keep this one short because I'm going to literally read a list of out of my diary that I kind of just wrote up this week. And let me turn that down a little. I hope that's not too loud. Now, I put on lo-fi hip-hop beats on Spotify when I'm trying to concentrate, and it really helps. And it also makes me feel more because, you know, we can get too heady and then we miss the feeling, the emotion. So that kind of keeps me flowing. So I've just been taking lots of business notes and stuff this week, kind of making making a strategy basically. But this one started out of, basically I was listening to a YouTube video about business models and stuff. And one guy randomly said, he said when he was starting his business, he had a fear of getting a client, bringing them on board, accepting payment, and then not fulfilling his end of the deal. And I just kept going from there. And I said, yeah, so scared of not providing good service, not knowing how to deal with grievances, especially if I think things were fine and they complain or list grievances unexpectedly. Sounds like kind of like when you're dating a guy and then he thinks things are fine and you're like, guess again. So I'm going to read my list because I kept going. I didn't even listen to the rest of his video. I'll listen to it another time. But, you know, life kept going on. So I got distracted. But I went on with fear and vulnerabilities. And I just started, I was so surprised how many started pouring out onto the pages. And here it is. This is a great week astrologically. There's a lot of spring cleaning to do, you know, psychological spring cleaning, basically. Yeah, the moon was just passing through my 12th house, which can bring up a lot, but now it's in my first house, my rising sign, Sagittarius. And it's basically, you know, we can be more emotional and have more needs. We could be having a more focus on our needs when the moon moves through personal areas in the chart like that. So I'm going to go on and read. And listen, I'm a single mom to a 12-year-old. I live alone. I have a cat. And I've been through failed relationships. I've been through relationships that I still maintain because we have to. It's in the best interest of our children. I have my daughter's father who got me pregnant in high school, summer before senior year, spring before senior year, and he broke up with me. So he broke up with me while I was pregnant, and he moved away. He went to Iraq for the war, for my whole pregnancy. So I spent my whole pregnancy alone. You know, I realize sometimes when I stop and think about it, how not normal my experiences have been. And I have never had a child since then. I have a stepdaughter from my marriage that I had. So yeah, he came back from Iraq. He lived through it. He was there for the birth. And when she was 3 or 4 days old, he went to Texas where he was stationed. And he met a woman shortly thereafter, and he got her pregnant, and he actually ended up marrying her a few short months later, and they had 2 children together. They got a divorce. He's married again, and they have more children together, but this isn't about him. I married a man when my daughter was 2. He met my daughter when she was 6 months old, and he just assumed a fatherly role, and we're still, even though we're divorced for 3 years, we're still basically raising our kids together. We never had any together. I really wanted some. He didn't. Different life visions, life goals, but we're still friends. we become closer as friends as the girls get older too. So, I'm trying to build a business. I would call myself right now an entrepreneur. I think it's really important that I made this list because I started to feel like I was failing at my business. But I still really haven't given my business all that I'm made of yet. So I'm not going to give up. And I was going to give up my YouTube channel because I don't feel like anybody watches it. What's the point, right? I'm talking to a camera. I'm just talking to the phone. It's not my therapist. So I'm just starting to hit a little different on different things that are, that might relate to other people too. And I have a lot of fear that I live with, and I balance this fear internally, and it shows me that I'm really strong. I'm actually really strong. So I'm going to go ahead and read now. Yeah, so the first one the guy said, and then I added to it. Number 2, fear, afraid of not providing services at all, wasting my gifts and skills. This one frustrates me a lot that I experience in life now. I'm afraid of clients never referring me or giving me reviews because they are embarrassed of why they came to me for help in the first place. Astrology parallels therapy a lot. Divorce is common, working through vulnerabilities is common. But I also must protect their confidence and their vulnerabilities and maintain trust, which makes it difficult to share success stories, in my opinion, because I don't want to offend their honor. I don't want to hurt anybody's dignity, especially if they, there's no reason to. I'm afraid of investing time, money, opportunity, youth, years of young attractiveness, and my love and devotion for it all to be in vain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Terrified of the humiliation of wrong predictions. Whew. Terrified, what was that, 5? Does it really matter? Yeah. 5. Terrified I'll allow fear to keep me from the next step. 6. Scared that I might need to choose between having a successful business and a long-lasting, deep, committed partnership with a man. I want to be married so bad to a good man. I really want a partner. Life would be a lot easier, I think, with a partner, So many people are doing everything on their own nowadays, and we're supposed to feel like empowered, not having partnership, not having a close, tight-knit community. And I find it draining, sometimes, and it catches up with me. And sometimes I lay in bed and I just think, what's so wrong with wanting a strong, gorgeous, good man next to me? What's wrong with that, Scared that financial success will attract men who are there to use me, distract me, take my money that I don't have yet, LOL, burn my business to the ground, and ultimately leave. Now, and not all of these are valid fears. I just started pouring them onto the page, like I've said. I said, scared my partner will be unattracted to my fierce, fiery tenacity and will when it comes to building the business in the future. Scared that my success will open doors that lead me abroad for travel, speaking arrangements, having more stalkers, more attention, more press, more pressure to abandon the wild feminine within me. So I'm being confronted with some of my own sexist beliefs, clearly, which I do have those. I'm working through it. I wrote, I'm afraid I won't like the people that I like now. I'm afraid they won't like who I'm becoming. Man, repeated theme of that in my life. A repeated theme of that in my life. I wrote, I'm afraid I'm not smart enough, not skilled, and can't help anyone. I'm afraid my daughter's dad is right and that I am failing her. So he tells me that almost every time we talk, when we have to talk, to the point where I basically blocked him on the phone. He can't contact me, it has to be over email. And any chance that he can get to say so mean things, it's like Yeah, he quit paying his child support recently. Just he's adamant about it all. And he thinks I'm a failure. He's always hated me for 13 years. And it's not something I understand or even care to anymore. He's a drain. I wrote, I'm afraid I'll never be able to successfully manage time or money. 14, okay, this one's vulnerable. I'm afraid of competition. I wrote, I'm afraid my daughter will never know how much I love her. I'm afraid of abandoning my daughter. Afraid of becoming a grandma when my daughter is in high school, because statistics show that teen moms give birth to teen moms a lot. Young moms give birth to daughters who become young moms sometimes, and fathers. I'm scared I'm going to have to raise a baby right when my daughter is getting out of high school. She will need my help, and I will raise another baby that's her daughter. I really don't want that for her, and I don't want that for me. If I'm being fully vulnerably honest, I don't want that for me. I don't want it anymore. Yeah. Okay, that one's going to go to the therapist. Okay, so... And then I wrote, I'm afraid of never having any more babies. That's a valid fear. I'm afraid my body is getting old and dried out. I'm afraid of losing any sense of humor or joy. And then I wrote, I'm afraid of my feelings of contentment when I'm supposed to want more. I'm supposed to want to be single now. I'm supposed to be an empowered feminine woman who doesn't need a man. And, but I'm also afraid of being content, the feeling of being content, which sometimes I feel that. I go through periods where I'm really content and everything's a fucking mess, excuse my language. And I think I'm not supposed to feel this right now. Okay, this is messy, but, it's good to list it out. It's good to see what's going on inside of all of us. And I know for a fact that I am not alone. And I know that these are beliefs, feelings. They are not facts, right? And it's so good to be able to see what actually lives within me, that motivates me. Let's see. I'm afraid of being selfish. I'm afraid of not experiencing the simple pleasures a man can provide. Afraid of not being able to fulfill my partner. Afraid that I might just want a simple life after all. But I'm also afraid my man that I settle down with will never be proud of himself or me, because I haven't really ever experienced that at all. And I'm afraid my partner will develop a drug or alcohol issue. I'm afraid I will attract an angry partner who ends up beating on me. I'm afraid of dying right when I finally do something right, when I hit the tipping point and I get somewhere in this vague, I have no real vision of what it's going to look like. But see, if you go back and watch my videos, you'll see there's a theme where when I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually also talking to myself. This stuff comes from my own experiences. Let's see. I am afraid of getting